there's a few ways of describing Keith as a play. One way that I like to take as a shortcut is Keith is a play that is not about Rupert Murdoch. Mm-hmm. Full stop.
Full stop. But when you read, I've read the little thing and then hearing you here, we're obviously meant to, that's meant to be rattling around in our head somewhere.
Well, you could definitely compare Murdoch to Keith, I think. You could make a comparison. It's there for thinking about.
Or better, we are David taking on the Philistines, and we are the story that we are telling and selling, and our story is that we will smash the Goliaths, and we will win, and when we win, and we win everything, we shall be the kings of our stories.
Then there's another way of describing it, which is looking at, it's about a man who becomes a media mogul, but who is responsible in a really weird way for keeping an element, newspapers of civilization that's really, really important alive. And so you've got somebody who might be a mogul that you might, kind of like a William Hearst or a Citizen Kane type character that you think, oh, this is a horrific character, but at the same time they're doing something that you kind of weirdly believe in too. So it plays with that conflict between someone that you outwardly disagree with, but who's shaped by the forces of the world, to do what he thinks is actually quite good. Now, part of what I do in terms of that is I create fantasies, and the play goes it's sort of a fantasia world. Keith is obsessed with Lennon. Lennon talks to him. There are lots of Shakespearean tropes that I just kind of pull into a grab bag and do lucky dip with Shakespearean tropes and go, what have I got now? Now's the winter of our discount tents. It's great, fantastic. You know, it's just keep pulling them out. So there's a bit of Richard III. There's a bit of Henry V. There's a bit of Hamlet. There's ghosts. So it's not garden variety realism, and funnily enough, that's the way that I want to write plays that are about public life and politics. I want to provoke the fantasia that is always there anyway. There isn't kind of, I think a lot of people when you want to talk about the big things, think that you need a bit of a realist approach sometimes, and I think it's all motivated by fantasy anyway, so why not see some of it?
So now, have you guys worked together on anything else, or is this a virgin relationship?
It's a virgin relationship. It's a good thing he's married.
Good thing you both are. And how's that been, finding the language between each other?
Oh, it's been quite good, I think.
Yeah.
I think we met each other on a humour level first. I mean, there's something I found really liberating about this play. Before I met Ben, when I first read it, I wasn't quite able to make the leap that the play was asking me to make, because it does ask you to sort of to step into a world. You called it irreality to the actors, so it's not quite surrealism. It has another quality. It's a refraction, and what I realised once I sort of met Ben and started talking to him was that refraction actually helps you go into the native state of the way people behave in this. So even though it is kind of bent and warped, it reflects a simpler truth in a way. And so once the actors discovered that, and it was really today, wasn't it, when they really sort of hooked into what that was, then suddenly the whole performance of the piece came alive in a way. And so it helped meeting Ben a lot, really getting his jokes.
Yes, it's one of the things about your writing, isn't it? There's a real wryness and a very unexpected humour when I've found.
That's right, yeah, and it invites scrutiny, but it rewards it as well. It's one of those lovely things with a writer, a writer of new work. When you open it up and suddenly you discover that. Well, your brain at first thinks, hang on, I don't know if I know what that is. And then if you just take that extra step, a universe explodes open, and that's a real joy.
And have you done a lot of actual writing over this process? A lot of rewriting or redrafting?
Yeah, I have. I think I'd progressed to another draft, like a proper new draft. I mean, there's obviously little edits and things that you make on a script, but over the weekend I sat down and pulled, compressed, reimagined the third act as something a bit bigger, which was really, really, really fun to find out. And that making it bigger came from just being able to hear the play and see the actors reveal what was there and have that butt up against what my kind of vision or feeling for that was. And so yeah, I feel I'm probably rambling because I'm a bit exhausted from it.
Yeah,
actually.
well, but, it's often a very exhausting process, this one, isn't it?
Yeah, and with epic plays as well, and this is an epic, it demands that of you, and it's got a full sweep of actors who are making really large choices, and if they don't make the choice, you can feel the logic disappear, but once they go there, then the whole thing comes up, and so, yeah, it certainly takes a chunk out of you, but it gives you 2 chunks back.
Have you had any radical kind of, oh wow, let's just lift that out, or let's flip that over, or...
yeah, the thing that I've done with Act 3.
That is one of those. Yeah,
that was a really... It was a really nice sort of, oh, but what about if... Oh, yeah, what if about it? Oh, yeah, I could do that. I'm the playwright. I can say that can happen. Yeah, it was a really lovely thing to come out of that conversation about it. But it took, 4 days of hearing it and to be able to get to a point where I could, feel confident in making that leap. Yeah.
Well, I look forward to seeing it tomorrow. Thanks so much, folks. It's really